In the rural towns of western and central Massachusetts, domestic violence often hides in plain sight. Isolation, lack of services, and distance from support systems make the path to safety more difficult and more dangerous.
Domestic violence is more severe, more long-lasting, and more likely to end in fatality in rural areas.
The Rural Network to End Domestic Violence brings together 6 community-based task forces to strengthen local responses and create safer systems from the ground up.
We don't need to come in as any kind of expert and tell these rural communities, what they need to do. It's really about lifting up the local wisdom in communities and empowering local communities to address it with their own assets.
In abusive homes, control can extend to every detail. Leaving the house, let alone accessing a vaccine or health care, can feel impossible.
You can't go get a vaccine if you're not allowed to leave your house. You can't go get a vaccine if you're not allowed to use a car. And if you do have access to a car, you might not be able to use that car. Or if you do use it, your partner may, you have to account for a mileage. It's very common that they will look at the odometer and say, 13 miles, where'd you go? Who did you talk to? What did you do? And even if you may think, I went to get the vaccine, but if you're going to be grilled by who was there, what did you say? What were you wearing? Who did you talk to? What did they say? You may just feel like it's not even worth it.
With support from the Rural Vaccine Equity Initiative, RNEDV helped new communities launch task forces and build systems of care led by those who live there.
What we were able to do is work with a couple of new communities so that they could start using this approach. We were able to give them some money to have somebody, because you have to have a coordinator of the task force, right? It doesn't really work if it's just all volunteer.
In one small region, survivor outreach grew tenfold in just 1 year. What began with 5 people turned into over 60 receiving support.
If you don't have a community-based group that's involving community people who know where to get help, who know what to say, they're not going to be able to leave. It's very difficult to leave domestic violence on your own, even if you live in the city.
This work doesn't just save lives, it prevents dollars, and it builds a stronger future for rural communities.
We're working at the front end. In one of our schools, we have a high school domestic violence task force. They're doing all kinds of initiatives. They have high school students talking to each other, teaching them about domestic violence. It does not cost very much money. The high school teacher, the math teacher and a science teacher, coordinate the high school task force for free. We go in, we do trainings, we give them a little bit of money for t-shirts. All those teens that do not get in domestic violence relationships or don't stay because of that task force, do you know how much money domestic violence costs once somebody's in it? I mean, the court costs, the police costs, the healthcare costs, the destroyed lives. It's amazing to me that we don't do this more, because even if you're just looking at how is the money being used as a society, we are saving so much money by doing front end work in the community that we know works. And we've got to keep doing it.
This is what the rural effect looks like when a network of neighbors rises up, listens deeply, and leads with care.
It's life transforming. And so so many of those people are now involved in the task forces, and they're safe. And then they can help, they are in their faith community. They're talking to people, or in their school or in their town agency that they work at. And all over the years, what happens is you have a community that's owning the issue, that's the stigma's going away, and people can get help locally right in their community.